My name is Cliff Bayuga, and you're watching me draw. And today, another edition of me drawing Pop Girls. Pop Girls, to me, are those 1960s movies, but mostly those adventure, secret agent television shows, like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Get Smart, and others. Those shows had a very distinct flavor. I like the attitude. The 60s had a nice, crisp, unfortunately chauvinistic, but distinctly chauvinistic look at life. It seems like both the males and the females sort of agree. But yeah, that's kind of what it was, especially the early 60s. Actresses of the time, they all had a sort of an attitude about them. I just enjoy the look, the makeup, all those 60s shows. They were just so cool, in my opinion. And so, again, I'm drawing just from reference, but I'm not drawing a caricature, even though I am a caricature artist. I am just drawing from reference. The drawing is probably going to look a lot like the person that I'm using the reference from, but that was not my aim. My aim is just to have a guideline as far as, some bone structure, just certain highlights, like usually it's the eyes. Again, I'm not drawing a portrait. You'll notice when I very first started doing a sketch, there was no construction lines. You didn't see me draw an oval, egg-shaped head with a line in the center, and you didn't see me cut it in half with a line from ear to ear. I don't do that. Part of it, a lot of it, is because I'm a caricature artist, and I just don't use those lines. I just, if I get the basic head shape, I'm ready to go. I just go after it. The software program that I'm using is called Clip Studio, and I basically just use two of the brushes they provide. The first one I use is the For Effect line, and I just basically use that for the top of the eyelashes, the top eyelash. You notice that it starts off kind of fat, and then it gets to a more elegant line. I like to use that because it's just basically one stroke, and it just serves my purposes. The other brush I use is the G-Pen brush, and I can go thick and thin with that. I'll change the size of the brush throughout my drawing, but basically that's all it is. I just changed width. I get really nice thick and thins, and what I love is that if I mess up, I just with Command Z and I go back and do it again. So that way I can get this real nice quick line. Even though the software program does do line correction, it's on me to know how much pressure and how much speed to use in with the brush. And how do I achieve those nice thick and thin lines? Well, it's basically a lot of trial and error and lots and lots and lots of practice. There's no way around that, right? When I do my digital coloring, I basically just do it. I have like a formula where I'll do the basic flat coloring, then I'll go in and add some shadowing, and then I'll go into some nuancing at the very, very end. But I keep it real simple. To me, less is more, especially when you're doing a pop art type of drawing. You don't want to get too detailed, especially with the color. So when you'll see me just lay down all this flat color, and the construction lines or construction shadows that I add later really help pump it up. But I gotta lay that flat color first. You'll notice when I lay down the large areas of color that I do it by regions. I don't just outline one gigantic region and then fill it with a paint bucket. What I'll do is I'll do it piece by piece. One of the reasons is if I'm getting near a detailed location around the head, I want to take a little care with it, and then I'll just sort of like pull a line over and use the bucket tool. Other times I will just fill out a section, a region, we'll say, and what I'm doing is I'm thinking. I'm thinking about the next thing I'm going to do. I not always know what I'm going to do next. I might be thinking ahead, and it's kind of relaxing to sit there and fill out a piece at a time. That's the reason. It's not because it seemed like it would be more efficient just to fill the whole, to outline the whole area and then boop, not get in with the bucket tool. But no, I'm paying attention to detail sometimes on the outline in certain sections, and other times I'm just sort of relaxing. It's not the most exciting thing to fill in these large areas. When I get into like the nuancing, I usually go for the eyes first when the outline of the eyes and the eyebrows when I do coloring. It's sort of like a basic attack. I have a formula. I'll go after the eyeshadow, the shadowing that goes from the eyebrow to the nose, down the nose. I'll go under the lip, around the edges of the face shape. And it's just part of a formula I do. It helps things go faster, and again, it's such a simple type of coloring that it's okay to have a formula. I think I don't have to it's not a really detailed, nuanced thing. The nuances come at the very end. So the second tier I do is adding those big shadows along the edge of the face, in the over the eyelids, under the eyelid type of thing. So even though I say less is more, and this is like really flat, overall, a flat color drawing, there's things I do that the person who's looking at the art, they just might not see, they might not catch it at all. But I put it there, and I think it adds quality to the illustration. I will, for instance, there's a little blue that I put inside the white of the eye. It's right along the top of the eye. I add a little bit of blue there. I add little lines to the iris that they're not going to possibly see unless it looks super close. But I do that. I add these things because I've noticed that other artists that I admire, that they do that. They'll add just a little bit extra that maybe some of them may deem unnecessary, but it's what adds quality to the drawing, to the illustration. And so I do it, and I go, yeah, that does work. Now I know why they do that. Now I'm an artist too. So it's subtle stuff, but it counts. So as I come into the stretch run of this illustration, it came out pretty much how I want it to look like. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want, you can subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine too. And have a happy drawing day.